Hey guys, I hope you've had a good couple of months. Let's get started. Alright, so the Violoncello starts at a forte and then goes up to a fortissimo. I was at one dynamic throughout the entire thing. That last left-hand flam there that I played is only supposed to be at mezzo forte, and it popped out higher than a forte even, which is what the next dynamic is, so it's incredibly immature. That 16th note roll that just played there sounds really tense and unbalanced. Those accented 5-stroke rolls, I accented them way too high. They're only supposed to be at mezzo forte. This rhythm right here in that measure, it's probably not good for my computer. B1 was a little bit too slow, which means I had to compress all the rhythms in beat 2 in order to catch up to the metronome, which made the diddle sound really awkward. Alright, let's speed through this. Those quarter note triplets, if I were to exaggerate how they sounded, it would be ja, 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 ja. So the space isn't perfect in between all of them. Stick trick still looked a little awkward. It was a lot better than it was in the previous video, but there's always room for improvement. As far as the first movement goes, the majority of my errors were all dynamic based, so I just gotta reevaluate all the stick heights that I'm playing, practice it with music, slow it down, etc. Just gonna speed through this. Alright, first rim of the day. Started on a rim, which is really dumb. Also in that same measure, where there's the right-handed paradiddle, and then a left-hand accent, and then the right-handed triplet, open triplet roll, and then another left-hand accent. The left-hand accent after the triplet roll was a lot weaker than the first one, but they should be the same height. That last rim shot, I put my body into it, which is probably going to be really awkward when I'm wearing drums. And then that last little, those two measures there, starts at piano, goes up to forte, which I did, and then it's supposed to go back down to piano. I ended way too high. My lows need to be a lot lower. Yeah, okay, so the quad feature is all supposed to be at mezzo forte. I overplayed that in order to not hit any rims, so that's not very good at all. Yeah, okay, that measure 41, beat 2, I play a 6-doublet paradiddle diddle. It sounds incredibly tense, which translated to all the notes lacking clarity. And it just sounded like I forced it onto the drums rather than playing every single note. And then the measure before that, there's this left-hand flam that was really open. It was like, ja-ja. So, gotta fix that. Alright, another rim. That one I believe went drum rim, so I either started in the right spot and didn't go far enough, or started in the wrong spot and then hit a rim. Actually, I'm actually going to go back and hit that scrape pattern where it first drops down to mezzo piano and then drops down to piano after. I didn't really drop down low enough as far as my stick rates go. I need to make my lows a lot lower. Another rim right there. That was during some singles, so I just straight up hit the rim. Wow, I'm pausing a lot. Alright, and then those singles, those are also supposed to be mezzo forte. I overplayed the shit out of those, which made them a lot harder. Those 16th notes there on the Spock, they're supposed to be an 8th note space before them. That space was too open, which means I had to crush the 16th notes. That crescendoing pattern where the left hand crescendos and the right hand stays the same sounded very, very tense and awkward, so I'm going to slow that down. First things first, I feel that crescendo, I started quiet and then just went right to loud. I didn't spend any time to build. Another rim, I started on the rim, missed the drum. That was a stick click, which is also just as bad as hitting a rim. Starting with that buzz roll that's supposed to be a piano, I feel a lot of my lows are too high, so I gotta get my lows lower. And then we'll pause again. And then as far as the whole 132 section there that goes, because it's very choppy, I am blowing through a lot of the dynamic markings in there. And then, again, because it's very choppy, it leads to a lot of tension, which causes the rhythms to sound very just forced and tight, and there's not very much clarity to it. The second time I play the pattern, the end of beat 4 is actually supposed to be on drum 2. I played it on drum 4. Alright, so I'll work my way backwards. All those rims, in the paradiddles, my left hand started on a rim twice in a row, and then the measure of tap 5s before that were a little slurred as well. Moving down the drums there, when I get to drum 4, that's an accented note. I didn't really accent it, and then the note after it's supposed to be at piano, and I didn't play that at piano either. And that was the dumbest part of my entire video. I hit a rim by reaching over the entire drum. Yeah. Stick click. Yeah, okay, so as far as the second movement goes, I don't think I hit any rims in the first movement, and I didn't in the third movement either, but all of my rims were in the second movement, so I'm going to have to slow that down. And then the other thing, especially in like the 132 section, and then there's a couple others, there's a lot of tension that I have to massage out. And then, just like the first movement, there are several dynamic errors that, again, need to be reevaluated. Yeah, I'll just stop this right here. Just like the 132 section in part 2, this just sounds really tense and forced. It's really fast, it's choppy. That will improve as the season progresses, but again, the best time to start is yesterday. Stick click. Alright, and then as far as the third movement goes, just like I said before, there's a lot of choppy parts, so I need to relax as I play them. I've also noticed that I have a little bit of an outward slice in my left hand. That is because when I'm playing the harder music, I'm resorting to an old bad habit of mine. So again, I gotta slow it down, make sure I'm not slicing, I'm not rotating my hand or anything like that, and everything should be okay. All right, thanks guys.